Welcome to the 1991 FHA Banquet. Our theme this year is FHA Southwest Style. We hope that you all have a good time and enjoy the banquet. And now for our response from my mom.
Thank you, Rip. And in response, on behalf of all the parents here, I'd like to say thank you for inviting us. Everybody looks beautiful. The decorations look beautiful. I have a little poem I'd like to share with everybody. It's entitled Perspective, and it's by Bob Benson. God and I raised a flower bed. He really did the most, I guess. We used His soil, His air, His water, His life, His sun. My part seemed so trivial that I said, Lord, you take those bulbs and make them grow right there in the box out in the garage. You don't need me, Lord. You can do it by yourself. Oh no, He said, I want to do my part. I'm waiting to begin. But you must do yours too. You'll have to dig the bed, bury the bulbs, pull the weeds. So I did my feeble part, and God took that bulb, burst it with life, fed it with soil, showered it with rain, drew it with sunshine, until we had a beautiful flower. And then He seemed to say, your life is like a garden, and if you'd like, we'll make it a beautiful thing. I'll furnish, He said, the soil of grace, the sunshine of love, the rains of blessing, the wonder of life, but you must do the digging. Lord, I said, you just go ahead. Make me what you want me to be. Make me a saint. Give me great faith. Fill me with compassion. Oh no, He said, you've got to keep your heart tilled, hoe the weeds of evil, chop away the second best. I'll make you anything. Pure, clean, noble, useful, anything, but only if you dig.
Now Lenny Malcolm will come up and lead us in invocation. Oh, Dorothy's here. All right, Dorothy Smith will come up.
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for letting everyone be here this evening. Bless this food and the hands that prepared it. Let us make it home safely. In your name I pray. Amen.
We are the future homemakers of America. Our goal is to help youth assume their roles in society through home economics education in areas of personal growth, family life, vocational preparation, and community involvement. Officers, our activities focus on individual growth, preparation for family life, development of occupational skills, and careers, and participation in youth in today's society. Members, as we work toward the accomplishment of our goals, we learn cooperation, take responsibility, develop leadership, and give service. The 10th meeting of the Minco chapter of the Future Homemakers of America is now in session. All right, now we'll have the thought for the day from Matt Jones. Hi, I'd like to tell you about a family. This is the Tater family. First is Spectator. He takes no part in any activity. He watches closely what is being done by others, but does nothing himself. Next is Hesitator. He's a nice person with good intentions, but never gets around to doing the job. He seems very willing, but puts it off till later. He will do it, he says, but not now, later. Agitator. We can do without. She has the ability to say the wrong thing nearly every time. It keeps people at odds with each other as well as with herself. She's the opposite of a peacemaker. Next is Dick, dictator. A real important guy as long as he is running things to suit himself. If he suggests something, everybody has to go along with it, or there'll be trouble. Next is commentator. The gossip, yeah, he's a gossip. Can't keep anything to himself. Next is sweet tater. We put up with the rest of the Tater family just to have her around. We have just met the Tater family. Which one are you? Now we will have a patriotic presentation from Brian Miller.
William Arthur Ward. I am a country, but I am more than a country. I am over 200 years old, but my mountains, forests, and rivers are ageless. Before I was a dream in the minds of mortal men, they were beautiful realities in the hands of a beneficent Creator. I am a nation, but I am more than a nation. I am a republic of 50 southern states with its own heritage and individual greatness. Each a vital part of one's indivisible whole, of one indivisible whole, the United States of America. I am a government, but I am more than a government. I am a symbol of plenty, a model of representative government, a hallmark of freedom, justice, and independence to hundreds of millions throughout the world. I am a melting pot, but I am more than a melting pot. I am a haven for the oppressed, a living adventure in brotherhood, a community of compassion, and a dynamic example of liberty under law, opportunity with responsibility, and democracy through equality. My name is America.
Now Matt Jones will introduce our guest. Now we'd like to take a time to recognize some people who mean a lot to us. First of all, we'd like to recognize our guest speaker, Lori Wyckoff, from the Altus FHA chapter. And she's the 1991-92 state Southwest Vice President. And, okay, there aren't any of those here, I don't think. Now we'd like to recognize the administration. Would you please stand up if there are any? They aren't here either. And now, any faculty or former faculty? Our advisor and her husband, Andrews. And all the parents and guardians, could you please stand? We'd like to give you a round of applause. Now we'll have our entertainment. It's a song called The Dance. And the biggest Garth Brooks fan alive is going to do it, Tony Scott. speaker for tonight is Lori Wyckoff. She's the 1991-92 State Southwest Vice President. She's from Altus High School, and her speech for tonight is entitled Aim for Action.
Hi, I've never been to Minco before, but, well, I've never heard of Minco before. But actually, I mean, y'all left a pretty good impression. This is the neatest decorated banquet I've ever been to. And y'all did a really nice job. My name's Lori. I'm from Altus High School. And I'll be a senior next year. I bring you greetings tonight from the 1991-92 State Executive Council. I began my term as your state vice president of the Southwest District at the state convention 3 weeks ago. Next year I'll be a senior at Altus High School. What I'd like to talk to you about tonight is Aim for Action, which happens to also be the theme for the 1991 National Leadership Meeting in Washington, D.C., July 6th through 12th. Your chapter might be planning to send some delegates to the national meeting, and I hope you are. Aim for Action. We're ending another school year, and summer's almost here, but it'll go by so fast. Before you know it, some of us will be right back in high school, some of us will have jobs, and some of us may be in college. But all of us, I hope, will take aim for action in our lives, regardless of where we are. Think about this. To accomplish, set your goals high. To achieve, always try to win. Never think of losing, and never say if again. Now some of you might say to me, but Lori, I know if I set my goals high, I'll only be disappointed. I don't think I could bear failing again. Well, I'd like to share a little story with you about me tonight. Just a year ago, I was sitting where you're sitting right now. If someone would have told me I was going to be a state vice president, I never would have believed them. It was only a dream at that time, but I thought it was possible. That is until my parents decided to pick up everything and move from Stillwater to Altus. I nearly lost all hope when my mom told me that Altus didn't even have an FHA chapter. Well, what do I do now? How could my dream ever come true? Well, my mom, being the remarkable woman that she is, convinced me that we could not only start an FHA chapter, but I could pursue my goal as a state officer. I had to resign my sub-district and local offices, and it seemed like my dream was lost for a while. I guess I'm living proof that how we view what happens to us is more important than what actually happens to us. In the words of Walt Disney, put faith, determination, and a dream together and expect a miracle. If there are areas or talents in your life which you wish to develop, now is the time to start your work. If you're not a senior this year, plan now to enter star events contests for next year. You know, I've never won a star events contest, but each time I entered and tried my hardest, I improved myself. My mother, who is also my advisor, is really big on contests, and she makes us feel if we enter and stick with it to the end, then we're a winner, never mind the score. Through FHA Hero, dreams can come true, but it takes a lot of effort and sometimes a lot of starting over. And remember, the only ones who never fail are the ones who never try. You have the ability to improve yourself, and only you can do it. The race is between you and yourself. I want you to remember 3 things as you aim for action. The first thing is be enthusiastic. Talk nice to yourself. Don't think everything that can go wrong will. Instead, think everything that can go right will. Second, set great goals. People who accomplish great things are people who set great goals. I know that we all know people who just want to make others notice them. They just want to fit in. Well, know your values. That's the basis for making good decisions. Set your goals wisely. Certain goals are going to make you a winner. If you don't take care of those things, you'll wind up a loser. I hope you all have goals, not only for FHA, but for your life. We've got to set goals and move ahead. We're supposed to We're not supposed to just survive life or just survive the year. We're supposed to go out and conquer it. So set your goals and go after them. The Bible says He is able to do exceeding abundantly above all you can dream or imagine or ask through His power in you. The word enthusiasm comes from a Greek word that means God within. Let the one who made you help you set your goals. And third, the key to seeing our goals come true is to say, I will not quit. I will not be stopped. The world system is designed to throw every barrier there is in front of us. When things get tough, some people just quit. Others remember, when things get tough, the tough get going. There are many examples of people who did not give up. Born into slavery, George Washington Carver attended his first school at age 11, and because of his poverty, didn't graduate from college until he was 30. Later, his discoveries revolutionized Southern agriculture. When 2 years old, Helen Keller lost her sight and hearing, but she learned Braille, sign language, and finally speech. Her uplifting spirit forced a change in the way handicapped people are viewed by themselves and by others. Woodrow Wilson, the 28th President of the United States, and one of the most articulate, didn't learn the alphabet until he was 9 years old and couldn't read until he was 11. But my favorite one is this one. Before being elected to the presidency, Abraham Lincoln suffered 11 major defeats in his life. In 1831, he failed in business. In 1832, he was defeated in a bid for the Illinois legislature. In 1833 was the death of Anne Rutledge. In 1834 was his second failure in business. In 1836, he suffered a nervous breakdown. In 1838, he was defeated in a bid for the Speaker of the Illinois House. In 1840, he was defeated in a bid for being a Whig elector. 1848, he was defeated in a bid for the U.S. House of Representatives. In 1855, he was defeated in a bid for the U.S. Senate. 1856, he was defeated in a bid for the Republican vice presidential nomination. And in 1858, he was again defeated in a bid for the U.S. Senate. The key to seeing your goals come true is to say, I will not quit. Aim for action is a challenge. Take hold of your life. Apply your gifts and talents and work with high expectations of yourself. This means setting goals, putting forth effort, trying and succeeding. As a freshman, I never really knew I could dream something, believe, take action, and achieve my dream. I want to thank all of you for giving me the opportunity to represent the Southwest District. And remember, be enthusiastic, set high goals, don't quit, and put faith, determination, and a dream together and expect a miracle.
We'll have our slide presentation, which was put together by Mary D. Now Ms. Roseby will come up for an awards presentation.
First of all, I'd like to give credit to all of the students. I think they've done a wonderful job. Every year I think, well, I'm not sure we can top that one. And every year they come up with something that's just equally or even better. I might give credit. Some of you may have seen, I know he gave himself credit, but I'll give him credit too. The mural over there, if you don't think we don't have some talented students, you know, he goes, oh yeah, we can spray paint that, Mr. Roseby. Spray paint it. I'm thinking what I do is spray paint. And he goes, oh yeah, no problem. And I said, well, you know, you can do it to size from the program? No problem. So he goes in there one day after school, I think he was in there like 3 hours, and I came in to look at it, and I went, it's not what I can do with spray paint. So anyway, just about the time you really see what they're capable of, they leave. So see, they keep it hidden until their senior year. But anyway, I think they've done a beautiful job with the banquet. I thank all of you for coming out. I think what I'll do first of all is recognize the senior FHA members. And so if those seniors would like to come forward and just maybe stand here for a few minutes. Like those of you, yeah, just come out. Yeah, well, I'll do that. I'd like to add that no one will be able to fill your shoes, so you might as well take them with you. But I have some new shoelaces to help spiff up the old shoes. I know you'd like that spiffy word. They always like the words I use. It's an example of your senior year. Hopefully, you'll hold on to those old memories, but you'll add some new experiences to them as you travel through life. I hope you keep the old memories of FHA and home economics, but apply some of the skills you've learned to lace up your future. Best of luck to all of you. First of all, we have Rip Scott. That says, "Brown on the loose." Matt Jones. Kim Scott. There's several seniors that weren't here today, so I know of a couple of them that had to work and everything, so we'll make sure they get their laces so they can lace up their future. I'd like to recognize some of the activities that we've had go on this year. Just like Lori spoke of, we pretty much started our year off with entering some of the contests. Like her advisor, I urge them to enter, and even though we lots of times don't come out on top, I think the experience that they get from doing it. Megan Locke has entered the job interview 2 years in a row, and she's gotten second place both times. So next year she's a senior. I see high hopes that that's the charm year. So if she's interested in entering again, that may be the year for her. I had several freshmen that entered some freshmen. This is how I'm talking about. I usually don't get there until like 7th hour. Let me think a minute. Lenny McKelvey entered the junior job interview and did real well. Jana Wright entered a Creed speaking contest. You're asking me to remember from the beginning of the years. You get it from me. And Angie Starkey entered the new member quiz. And none of those were able to go on to the district level, but I was proud of how they did. And I know a couple of them were like second place, and one of them was a third place. So we were in the top ratings. They all got ribbons, which is good when you consider that there's 16 people that they're competing against, and they only give ribbons for the first 3 places. So I know we came away with all ribbons. So that was good. Probably the next event that was probably a highlight of some of us was the trip to Denver. And Nancy and Juanita, I will never forget your faces when that bus drove up in front of that tall school, and Nancy repeats 3 times to me, "This is the bus we're taking." And I went, "I think so, Nancy." And she goes, "This is the bus we're taking." It wasn't quite what we had visualized, but we ended up having a good time, and we got to know everyone on the bus very well. In fact, we knew everyone's luggage very well because we had to move the luggage every time we stopped, which was like every, 3 or 4 hours. We got the luggage, moved it to the side. It didn't have a storage underneath the bus, and so we were sitting on luggage and standing on luggage and moving luggage, but we had a good time. And so there were 9 of us, I believe, that went out there to what we call a cluster meeting, which is kind of a regional meeting. It's a step down from the national meeting. And that was in Denver. And I think we went in November and had a beautiful snow when we were out there. It was the highlight, I think, of that era. I won't say the year, but that time. Anyway, I do appreciate Nancy, you and Juanita. If it weren't for you parents that would be willing to help support me, I know I wasn't willing to take them all by myself. And they were good kids. And so anyway, that was a highlight. I'd like to thank the teachers and the administration and everything for their support. I know we do some crazy things that gets them out of class lots of times, like the Valentine sales, the talent show we had during school this year. And if it weren't for those teachers willing to let us out, the dating game. So if there's something we can think of to get out of class, we try to do that. We did raise $200 off of the talent show, even though we had it in school, which I feel like was a success. That was another fun trip on Sunday afternoon. We went up. We'd never been on TV before, so I had the giggles just like everybody else. And Rip and I got off, and we were laughing so hard, I thought they were going to have to carry us out. But anyway, that was an experience, and we took pictures with Woody the Bear and all of that. And that happened to be the film that did turn out. But anyway, those are the activities that I get to enjoy with the students out of a classroom setting. And that's probably what allows me to get to know the students maybe on a little bit closer level than some of the other teachers, because I do have those experiences. And that's the part of my job I like. I like getting to know them outside the classroom as well as enjoy teaching them. I'd like to thank Joyce Locke. A couple of weeks ago we went to the state meeting, and like I say, you all are great for me to call at the last minute, because I think I called her that morning or the day before and said, I need somebody to bring some of these kids back. Would you mind going with us? And so anyway, that certainly makes my job a lot easier, and I feel more comfortable when we've got some people that want to help out. Another thing that came to mind the other day was we were doing some of the decorations, and Matt Walters wasn't in FHA, and he said, well, why am I helping do these decorations? And I said, well, we all kind of get involved and do it. It doesn't matter. And he goes, yeah. I said, Miss Rizzo, if I'd known who all was in FHA and that it'd be that much fun, I would have joined this year. And I said, well, is that going to stop you from next year? And I think he summed it up whenever he said, yeah, I'm going to join next year because it is fun. And so hopefully we do have fun in FHA, but I also hope that as well as the fun, that we learn some skills that hopefully these students will be able to use in their future, because we do focus on the family, and hopefully the things that we bring out are interests that hopefully can establish a stronger family unit. At this time, I'd like to recognize the officers that I had for this year. They've done a good job. We assigned certain months that they were in charge of, and they took care of that. We've had a good year. Another year down. But at this time, I'd like Donna Pinkston. Donna was the student council representative for last year. And we've had a lot of fun. Next is Brian Miller. And as he said at our last meeting when he was trying to get officers to run for parliamentarian, nothing to it. You just tell them to be quiet. Sometimes I have to tell Brian to be quiet. He learned well, and so Brian was our parliamentarian. Next we have Dorothy Smith, and she was our chaplain this year. Dorothy went to Vo-Tex in the mornings, and I know sometimes she felt like, she was left out or whatever, but it's hard when you only have 2 hours left in the day, but we tried to work around that and have some of our meetings at noon and things like that. So. Next was Megan Locke, and she was our historian. She was happy with the camera. Next we had Lindsay Treadway, which that's who Megan was said I didn't do it, and here I got up in front of everybody. I said, now there's very few times I ever call you Megan. Anyway, Lindsay is who Megan got happy with the camera with, I think. And next we have Kim Scott. She was our secretary-treasurer. She did a good job. She even took off work to come. She wanted me to be sure of that. Okay, the last mug. Matt Jones. I think there should have been a dedicated tater on our little tater skit. If something needed to be done, you could expect Matt to be there. He's one of the few that would be willing to stay after, that would take charge, that would take care of it, and I'm really going to miss that because it seems like you only get 1 or 2 of those every year, and Matt is definitely one of those that has the stick-to-itiveness. And now we have last but not least. I tell you what, Reb, over there, and I see this so vividly, over at that sewing machine, having me stay after because you didn't get your project done, and me saying, guys, you're really starting to get on my nerves. You're going to stay after school, get busy. And he and Brett were just over there being little freshmen. And once again, I repeated it, and I think I finally ended up blowing up that day, didn't I? Then I can see as vividly as yesterday, walking down the hall. This was after one of those days I blew up at him and said, Rip, you make me so angry. I don't know whether to kick you or hug you. Because I think he was having some troubled times at that time, but still yet he pushed me to the limit. And I know that since then I have pushed him to the limit because he's had to stick with me for 4 years. But I've enjoyed him. I remember teasing him a lot about, Rip, if you weren't that cute, you wouldn't get away with half that stuff. And I meant it. I've enjoyed having Rip. Every now and then you get one that starts out with you as a freshman and you just kind of find that special place for him in your heart. I'm not crying, but I'm getting sentimental. And so I think Rip is one of those. And so I'd like to present him the FHA President-elect. He is our first FHA President that's a male, and I've been real proud of him. And with that, I think we'll get on with the installation.
Oh my God. I'll be in the back. Shut
Future homemakers of America are in regular session to install our officers and explain to them the duties and responsibilities they are about to assume. We have before us the light of home economics, the light which radiates throughout the world. This is the light of our ideals, our purpose, which enables us to make our homes, communities, nation, and world a happier place in which to live. The following officers have been elected to serve future homemakers of America for the year: President Megan Locke, Vice President Leah Reed, Secretary Shayla Gibson, Treasurer Lauren Brownlee, Historian Jenny Workman, Parliamentarian Nikki Morris, Reporter Lindsay Treadway, Stuco Rep Donna Pinkston, Chaplain Lenny Malcolm, Committee Chairperson Amber Miller. As officers-elect, you must realize that a great honor is being bestowed upon you. Future homemakers of America has faith and confidence in your ability to lead the organization onward. The pledge of your office signifies your willingness to do this. You will repeat after me. I solemnly promise that I will, to the best of my ability, faithfully perform all the duties belonging to the office for which I have been elected. You have heard the pledge which the officers have made. It is important that each member assist these officers in the performance of their duties. Will the President-elect come forward? The office of President is a great responsibility. You must be firm, pleasant, considerate, and a friend to every member of the organization. You are to be familiar with to be familiar with your duties as stated in the Constitution.
reporter, it is my job to report to the local newspaper all the activities of the Future Homemakers of America organization and to serve as chairman of the publicity committee.
Your duties as a parliamentarian would be to rule on points in question concerning parliamentary procedure, to assist in conducting meetings in a business-like manner, and to serve as chairman of the constitutional committee.
Chairman committee, your duty is to be on all committees, to see that they conduct in a good manner, and to report back to Mrs. President. Now I'd like to present a rose to all of this year's officers. Student Council Representative Don Kingston. I'm sorry. I just don't remember you telling me that.
For me, your financial budget
All right, our parliamentarian, Ryan Miller. Our secretary, Kim Scott. Yeah. Our vice president, Matt Jones. Our chaplain, Dorothy Smith. And our president, Rip Represent you. Well, everybody, this new officers come up. This year's officers. Tell them. All right. I present you with the 1991-92 FHA Executive Council. I got something I want to read before the closing ceremony. As you all know, I'll be leaving you next year. I'm sure you'll miss me. But anyway, I was up here today and we were decorating, and it really didn't hit me till I got home and I listened to this song and I thought, wow, man, I'm leaving in 3 weeks, and I sat there and I thought, I'm really gonna miss all these guys and all the stuff we do. Just like today, I mean, nobody says this is exciting, but it's kind of fun to me, or at least I want to miss it. I bought this CD Sunday and I just listened to it over and over again today, and I want to dedicate this. I'm not going to sing it, but I'm going to read it, and I want to dedicate this to all the officers that served with me and Miss Frisbee, and all the people that us seniors are going to leave behind. It's called Farewell to You. It's a song by White Line. Well, it's time to say goodbye, my friend. I'm glad you stayed until the end. I hope that you've enjoyed the time we spent. Though I know that I will be back again, I don't know just how soon, my friend. Till we meet again, just think of me. I'll think of you. It was easier to say hello. Now I'm going to be the one experienced. Then to say goodbye. I'll get through it. Just stay with me. Now the bus is leaving once again. I bid farewell to you, my friend. I remember all the fun we had and all the tears when times were bad. But you were there when we were down and out. And I know that I'll not forget what was written and what was said, and who was there when we were not on top of the world. It was easier to say hello than to say goodbye. Now the bus is leaving once again. I bid farewell to you, my friend. Yes, it's time to say sayonara. Ciao, my friend. You'll always have a place within my heart. And people will come, people will go. The scene will change and the time will show. But still, I hope that you'll be there for me. I'll be there for you. It was easier to say hello than to say goodbye. Thank you. We got a gift from Miss Frisbee now, and I advise her not to open it here. So come over and now we'll have our closing ceremony from Megan Locke.
Members, let's stand. Future homemakers of America, we are challenged to accept the responsibility of making today's decisions that affect our lives and the world in which we live. Let us repeat our creed. We are the future homemakers of America. We are members of FHA and hero chapters. We face the future with warm courage and high hope. For we have the clear consciousness of seeking old and precious values. For we are the builders of homes, homes for America's future. Homes where living will be the expression of everything that is good and fair. Homes where truth and love and security and faith will be realities, not dreams. We are the future homemakers of America. We are members of FHA and hero chapters. We face the future with warm courage and high hope. Ms. Frisbee said I suggest that the freshmen help clean up.